Despite her restricted diet, Maya smuggled a large stash of snacks into her hospital room and was devouring them relentlessly. When I confronted her, warning her that her behavior could jeopardize her health, she snapped back, "If you had been making healthy meals, I wouldn't be sick. Stop taking it out on me." With a scowl, she spat out, "Daddy's little parasite is acting all high and mighty." Her eyes burned with anger as she hissed, "Get a divorce and disappear somewhere." Back in the car, I saw that Tom had called. I reported the heated exchange with Maya, only to be met with his angry response. "Maya is sick, you should be more supportive," he snapped before hanging up on me. I checked into a hotel to put some distance between myself and them, but after seeing a troubling picture from Anna, I decided to change my approach. "Maya, I'll grant your wish for a divorce. But before that, I'm going to reveal your beloved daddy's true nature. Look forward to it. I'm Katie, a 45-year-old housewife. I married my colleague Tom 5 years ago. I was so focused on my work that I didn't get married until my late 30s. But 7 years ago, Tom was transferred to my department and pursued me relentlessly. After 2 years of dating, we became a couple. Tom had divorced his ex-wife due to her infidelity and had a daughter named Maya, who was in an elementary school at the time. My parents and friends were concerned, but when I met Maya during our engagement, she was so innocent and adorable that I was excited about the prospect of having a child. I decided to raise her with care, even though we weren't related by blood. However, that resolve was soon tested. At the time of our marriage, Maya was in 6th grade and loved games, music, and snacking. She would lounge on the sofa, absorbed in her interests, constantly munching on something. Despite my attempts to limit her snack intake by reminding her that it would spoil her dinner, Maya's eating habits remained unchecked. She would consume excessive amounts of snacks and large meals, leading to a noticeably plump figure since she wasn't involved in sports. I expressed my concerns about her health, but Maya would simply scowl and retort, "Shut up, you're not my real mom, so just leave me alone." When Maya criticized my cooking and advised me to fix my nagging if I didn't want Dad to leave me, I was frustrated. I discussed the matter with Tom, but he brushed it off, saying it was just a phase. I pleaded with him to see that her eating habits were straining her health, but he dismissed my worries, saying I should just stock up on snacks because Maya would eat them all anyway. Eventually, Maya entered middle school and began associating with a bad crowd, engaging in problematic behaviors like attending band concerts and staying out late. She started getting piercings and dressing more flamboyantly. When I scolded her for piercing her nose and lips, Tom downplayed my concerns, saying it wasn't a big deal and that she looked cute no matter what. Despite my efforts, Maya continued to neglect her studies, focusing instead on games and music. As a high school student, she struggled with stress and health issues, eventually getting diagnosed with school-related stress. Despite initially attributing her symptoms to stress, I insisted she see a general hospital for a more thorough evaluation. "I hate needles and tests because I'm so delicate," Maya whined. Tom immediately sided with her. "Forcing her to go is harsh. Let's just wait and see," he said. "But what if it's something serious? We're both at work during the day. What if she collapses?" I asked, my concern growing. Maya responded nonchalantly, "Then you should quit your job." Tom added, "Yeah, if Katie takes care of Maya, I can work without worry. She can take Maya to the hospital if needed." I was momentarily at a loss for words. "But Maya is your daughter, Tom. Don't be so cold. She's your daughter too, blood or not." "Exactly," Maya chimed in. "Besides, Dad makes more money than you, so no one will miss you at work." I felt disheartened because I found my work fulfilling, but it was hard to refuse when it was for my daughter. Reluctantly, I resigned from my job. Maya then began to treat me like a servant. As soon as she got home from school, she would issue commands. "Oh no, I forgot to buy pudding. Go to the cake shop by the station. Massage my legs, they're so tired. Oh, and my shoulders and back too." One evening, she complained, "Why stew? I'm in the mood for sweet and sour pork. Throw this out and make sweet and sour pork." Her mood was even worse when she wasn't feeling well. Claiming she couldn't sleep, she would call me to her room in the middle of the night to talk about trivial things. That girl is such a teacher's pet. It's so annoying. Hey, are you listening? Don't fall asleep. She would even demand impossible things like curing her headaches. Tom, can't you do something about Maya? I pleaded, exhausted from lack of sleep and emotional strain. I get that she wants someone to lean on when she's sick, but this is too much. I can't take it anymore. Tom furrowed his brow and sighed. You're Maya's mother now, so you need to handle it. Kids' tantrums are cute, aren't they? Then why don't you take over on weekends? I suggested, my voice tinged with desperation. Tom shrugged helplessly, offering no real solution. I work to support you too. Can't you understand that? You should at least be able to listen to our daughter's requests with a smile, Tom said. Then can't you come home a little earlier? I argued desperately. You've been working overtime a lot recently, and there are many weekends and overnight business trips. Can't you spend a bit more time with Maya? No way. I'm busy. Maya is your responsibility, Tom replied, pushing all the responsibility onto me without any interest in being involved himself. My distrust grew day by day. Even Tom, who usually took things lightly, started to worry as Maya's condition persisted for over a year. A coworker mentioned that it might be a liver problem. We should get her properly checked at the hospital. Despite all my urging, Tom had always refused. But a single comment from a coworker made him change his mind instantly. I was exasperated but accompanied the two of them. After a full examination, Maya was diagnosed with cirrhosis. She has jaundice and ascites. It's at grade B right now. It's not immediately life-threatening, but it's quite severe. Why did you let it go on for so long? I'm sorry, both Tom and Maya, usually carefree, now hung their heads in shame. It seems the cirrhosis developed from hepatitis C. Do you have any idea how this might have happened? For example, did you pierce your own ears and share the equipment without proper sterilization? Maya gasped. See, I told you so. Realizing the foolishness of her actions, Maya's face contorted as she bit her lip. Will she need surgery? Tom asked anxiously. First, she needs to be hospitalized for nutritional and exercise guidance, the doctor replied calmly. However, if this continues, it could progress to liver cancer. A liver transplant would be the best option once her condition stabilizes. Understood. After seeing Maya off to her hospital room with a nurse, Tom and I went home to prepare for her stay. As we drove, Tom said, let's register for a living donor liver transplant. Waiting for a donor might make Maya's condition worse. Yes, that's true. Then I'm counting on you, Katie, Tom said. I stared at Tom's profile. You're going to register too, right? No way. I can't handle pain. I couldn't believe my ears. They say donors can have complications like bowel obstruction or duodenal ulcers. It'd be a problem if that happened to me since I'm the breadwinner. That's true, but is it okay for me to be the donor? I wanted to ask. Don't worry, it's not usually life-threatening. The liver regenerates even after part of it is removed, so it's no big deal. Tom's cheerful smile left me feeling unsettled, but I couldn't just sit back and watch Maya's condition worsen. After undergoing compatibility tests and being a match, I registered as a donor. Now, whenever Maya's condition improved, I was ready to donate part of my liver. Honestly, I was terrified, but as Maya's mother, even without a blood connection, I wanted to support her in any way I could. One day, after some time had passed, I received a call from the hospital. Maya's condition had stabilized, and they wanted to schedule the liver transplant surgery, coordinating with the operating room and the doctors. Since Maya disliked me, she might refuse the transplant if she knew I was the donor, so I asked the doctor to keep it a secret. Soon, the surgery date was set, and I went to the hospital for tests. On my way back, I stopped by Maya's room and was stunned. Despite being on a restricted diet, she had brought a large amount of snacks from the hospital store and was devouring them. I lost my temper and scolded her harshly. Do you understand your condition? If you keep this up, it could be life-threatening. You need to take your health more seriously. Maya, spitting crumbs, blamed me. It's your fault in the first place. If you had made healthier meals and snacks over the past 5 years, I wouldn't have gotten sick. Take responsibility. I felt like collapsing at her unreasonable accusation. What are you talking about? You were the one who always asked for high-calorie meals and snacks. Stop taking it out on me. When I countered firmly, Maya sneered. You're always bossing me around. It's so annoying, she said in a low voice, distorting her face. I don't need you anymore. I don't even want to see you. Just a parasite acting all high and mighty. Get a divorce and get lost. Her hateful words pierced my heart like sharp arrows. The anger quickly dissipated, leaving me cold and detached. Got it, I said and left the room. When I got back to the car, I saw that Tom had called. I reported my exchange with Maya, only to be yelled at furiously. What are you, stupid? Maya is sick. You should be more supportive. But what if her condition worsens because of stress? I felt miserable. Why do I have to put up with this? I hung up without responding and drove away from the parking lot. Back home, I packed my suitcase with essentials and left the house. I didn't want to see those two for a while, so I decided to stay at a hotel. The next day, I met my friend Anna at a cafe and told her about Tom and Maya. She grimaced. Actually, she started to say, but then stopped. After fiddling with her phone for a while, she showed me a picture. I involuntarily gasped. You should look into this properly, she said. You're right. Thanks, I replied in a strained voice and had Anna send the picture to my phone. As I looked at it, a surge of intense anger welled up inside me, making my whole body heat up. Maya, I'll grant your wish for a divorce. But before that, I'm going to expose the true face of your beloved daddy. Look forward to it. Right after parting ways with Anna, I went to a real estate agency and immediately signed a contract for a weekly rental apartment. I arranged for a moving company and transferred all my belongings there. I also found a full-time job and started working right away. I had been ignoring calls and messages from Tom, but when I checked my phone 3 days later after getting home, I saw I had 50 missed calls. Reluctantly, I called back and he immediately started yelling. Where the hell are you? Why aren't you coming home? And what's with sending the divorce papers out of the blue? That's none of your business, I replied coolly. I responded coldly to Tom's rapid-fire questions, which made him even angrier. Don't mess with me. You're Maya's mother, aren't you? His ferocious shouting made me instinctively pull the phone away from my ear. And you refuse to donate your liver for Maya's transplant. Get to the hospital and re-register now. No, I'm not donating to her anymore, I said firmly. I heard Tom sigh over the phone. Being stubborn over a minor argument is so childish. It's embarrassing at your age. Say whatever you want. Don't you care about Maya at all? Maya and I are strangers. Besides, I have never thought of her as cute since we got married. I seized the opportunity to speak my mind. Did you file the divorce papers? I can't do that. If we get divorced, you'll no longer be a relative, and we won't be able to proceed with the donor process. Tom sounded irritated, and I couldn't help but sigh. Why are you fixating on me? You, as her biological father, should be the one to donate. Tom dismissed my reasonable suggestion with annoyance. I told you I can't handle pain, and there are risks of complications, right? Yes, it seems so. Then I'm out. Besides, Maya's condition isn't immediately life-threatening. If you're unwilling, we'll wait until another donor appears. Fine. I realized he cared more about himself than his daughter. I was utterly disillusioned by Tom's insistence. I'll visit Maya's room next week. We need to talk. With that, I ended the call. A week later, as promised, I went to Maya's hospital room. As soon as she saw me, she started yelling, "You stupid old hag. Don't go off on your own. Go talk to the doctor and re-register as a donor." I was disheartened, thinking, is this really how you ask someone for a favor? Both father and daughter lacked basic manners. What? No way. You were the one who told me you didn't need me and to get lost. That was just a figure of speech, Maya stammered, trying to make excuses. I don't want you two to separate because of me. Right, Dad? You don't want to divorce Katie, do you? She usually called me an old hag or old lady, but now she was using my name. Maya looked up at Tom with pleading eyes, and he nodded vigorously. Of course not. I want us to continue living happily as a family." With a forced smile on his face, Tom nodded. I handed him the photos and the investigation report I had taken out of my bag. "Oh, really? But it seems Maya has another happy family." Maya's face paled as she glanced at the photo. "Maya, you've been seeing them behind my back?" Tom's voice was filled with anger, and Maya stammered a response. Tom slammed the photos down on the table in the hospital room. The photos showed a woman with a plump figure similar to Maya's, a tall man in a suit, and Maya. The scene of them enjoying a meal at a restaurant was likely taken covertly from a nearby table. Another photo showed the three of them walking down a main street holding high-end shopping bags with joyful expressions. "How did you know I was meeting my mom and her new husband? Hiring a detective is so low." Maya snapped at me. I explained, "When I was cleaning Maya's room, I noticed she had a lot of high-end brand bags. I wondered how she could afford them without having a job." "Mind your own business," Maya snapped. "I can't do that. I am your mother, after all," I replied with a smile, meeting Maya's glare. "When you came home from dinner, you sometimes smelled like perfume. I knew you were lying about having dinner with friends." Tom, looking puzzled, tilted his head. "I never noticed that. You're usually home after I've showered, and on weekends you come back after midnight," Maya added, pouting. "Oh, that's right." Tom scratched his head and laughed awkwardly. "I found it suspicious, so I hired a detective. I'm relieved you weren't hanging out with bad friends." "Mind your own business, Dad," Maya grumbled. "I'm sorry I couldn't say no when Mom insisted." Maya tried to appease Tom, speaking in a sweet, flattering voice. Tom forced a smile. "Yeah, I understand," but the smile vanished when I played the audio recording. "Dad is such a cheapskate. He works at a big company, but my allowance is only $200 a month. Can you believe that? It's gone as soon as I buy one outfit. I hate living poor." Maya's voice came through the recording. "Poor Maya. For now, just endure it and marry a rich businessman like your stepdad," a woman with a voice similar to Maya's said, and a man's voice agreed. "Come live with us, Maya. I'll buy you anything you want," the man said. "But if I move, I won't be able to see my friends. Besides, leaving Dad alone would be sad, right? He has no friends at all." Maya's voice continued. You're so sweet for not wanting to abandon your dad," the woman said, and the three of them laughed loudly. Tom's face turned beet red while Maya turned pale and shrank on the bed. "Maya, this is really bad," Tom finally spoke after a moment of silence. "You know the reason for the divorce was because your mom cheated with that guy, right? And yet you were meeting them secretly." Though his tone was calm, Tom's eyes were filled with anger, making Maya visibly uneasy. "But Mom's new husband is a good guy. He buys me everything I want and takes me to fancy restaurants. Honestly, I think Mom made the right choice remarrying him," Maya continued, digging herself deeper in her panic. "Even when I ask Dad for something, he complains about taking me to a sushi place. He works at a big company, so why don't we have money? It's not like he's into gambling." Tom's face contorted with anger. "That's none of your business. Besides, you got cirrhosis because you've been eating lavish meals behind my back. From now on, you're forbidden to meet them." "You don't know the law, do you?" Maya retorted defiantly. "Even if you're divorced, children have the right to see their parents. I thought marrying this woman would mean a higher salary and a luxurious life, but all I get is a measly allowance, no dining out, and a nagging old lady. There's no point in staying at home." "So that's what you were thinking when you were sweet-talking me during our engagement," I said, feeling a sense of clarity. I let out a faint smile. Next to me, Tom, with a smug look on his face, spoke to Maya. "Listen, I work hard, sweating and stressing to support you. Do you think I enjoy overtime and business trips?" "But Dad, I'm saving money for your future. Isn't that more important than luxury now?" I stared intently at Tom's profile as he tried to reason with Maya. "What's up?" he asked, puzzled, and I smiled. "The other day, I talked to your boss. Remember, I used to work in the same department as you, so we know each other." "Yeah, what about it?" Even Maya listened with interest. and asked if there was any way to reduce your overtime, weekend work, and business trips because you're hardly ever home. He was confused. Tom's eyes started to dart around nervously. He knew what was coming next. Your boss said this. Our department is quiet right now. There's hardly any overtime or weekend work and certainly no business trips. We leave on time every day. Isn't that strange? With that, I tapped my phone screen to display some images. I also placed several photos and the investigation report from my bag next to the documents related to Maya. So you're a regular at a girls' bar in the entertainment district, going there 4 times a week after work. No wonder you're busy and come home so late. Maya's eyes widened as she snatched the report from my hand. As she read through it, her expression turned into one of fury, her hands shaking as she held the document. Maya read aloud in a low voice, "On weekends, he spends the night at the apartment he bought for a 20-year-old waitress. Sometimes he even escorts her to work. Every 2 or 3 months, they go on trips together. I'm shocked. It's like you're living together. Do you have any sense that your wife and daughter are waiting for you at home? It's none of your business how I spend my salary," Tom grumbled with a sullen face. "She's saving for college, so I have to go there often and give her more tips. Supporting a hardworking girl is the right thing to do, just like volunteering." I laughed at Tom's brazen attitude. She lives in the same apartment complex as Anna. People have been gossiping about you two shopping together at the local supermarket or getting cozy in the lobby. Oh, they think you're a handsome couple? Don't be stupid, I mocked Tom with a derisive laugh. They think it's pathetic for an old man to be fawning over a girl young enough to be his daughter. You're a laughing stock. It's not just anger I feel, it's pure astonishment. At this, Tom's eyes narrowed sharply. Don't call it an affair. I truly love her. That's disgusting. Maya contorted her face in disgust and spat out. Are you serious, Dad? Falling for a girl my age? Something's wrong with you. Shut up. Let me love whoever I want, Tom retorted with a defiant expression. Seeing me and Maya bristling with anger, Tom spoke passionately. She said she wants to marry me after she graduates. Be happy, Maya. You'll have a young and beautiful stepmom. Tom grinned, and Maya sighed deeply, looking distressed. Dad, wake up. She's just using you for your money. I don't want a stepmom 3 years older than me. That's a joke. It doesn't matter if you don't approve. We'll get married. Don't be ridiculous. If you're going to spend money on another woman, increase my allowance. Is she more important than me? Tom calmly replied to Maya's angry outburst. No, Maya, you're more important. But with a healthy liver, you'll be fine on your own. Maya shot a sharp look at me. That's right. I don't care if you divorce, but give me your liver first. She got off the bed, approached me, and grabbed my arm with surprising strength for a sick person, hurling insults at me. The liver regenerates even after cutting it right. So stop being stingy and give it to me. You're my mother legally, so do your duty. At least be useful in a time like this, you useless jerk. In a time like this? For the past 5 years, you've done nothing but make demands, I responded firmly. I've done my best for you and your dad, and now you're resorting to threats. I said in exasperation. Tom sneered. Are you scared of the surgery, Katie? You're a coward and a hypocrite. How pathetic. As I said before, why don't you do it yourself then? I snapped back. Maya defended Tom. Dad wasn't a match, so he couldn't, right? Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Maya. Tom clasped his hands together in an apologetic gesture. Feeling exasperated, I pressed the play button on the recording app. I told you I can't handle pain, and there are risks of complications, right? Yes, it seems so. Then I'm out. Besides, Maya's condition isn't immediately life-threatening. If you're unwilling, we'll wait until another donor appears. Maya looked puzzled at the sound that played. Huh? It's your dad's honest feelings. He never even did the compatibility test. If you don't believe me, ask the doctor. Awkwardly, Maya turned her head to look at Tom. Tom was sweating profusely, his mouth opening and closing as he struggled to come up with an excuse. In the end, he loves himself more than his own daughter. No, that's not. Maya's eyes quickly filled with tears. That's awful. I trusted only you, Dad." As Maya's voice quivered, Tom made an even more insensitive comment. "But I like thinner girls. And Maya, you keep eating like your mom and getting fatter. Besides, you got sick because of your own actions." With his lips pursed and scratching his cheek, Tom showed zero fatherly concern. "Hey, how about asking your mom? She's related by blood, so it should be possible." Tom clapped his hands as if he had come up with a brilliant idea, making Maya frown. "Dad, did you forget Mom has diabetes and high blood pressure, so it's impossible from the start?" "Oh right," Tom muttered. Despite being about his ex-wife, it seemed he had completely forgotten. Tom and Maya exchanged looks for a moment before finally sitting on the floor and getting down on their knees in front of me. "Please, Katie, donate your liver to Maya." "I absolutely refuse to do it. You're the only one left. As your daughter, I'm begging you. Do it willingly. If you refuse, I'll tell everyone in the hospital that your new wife mistreated me." "Enough," I yelled over their heads. "How many times do I have to say it? I will never register as a donor for you again. I've been treated like a servant, insulted, and now you want my liver too? No way. Are you still holding a grudge? You're such a jerk," Maya retorted. I was fed up. I crouched down, grabbed a bag of snacks from under the bed, and headed to the hallway, pushing away Maya's hands as she tried to snatch it from me. Then, I called out to the nurse's station, "Maya is eating chips again." Before I finished, a nurse rushed over and angrily confronted Maya. "Miss Miller, how many times do I have to tell you to stop? At this rate, even if we find a donor, the transplant won't be possible." "I'm sorry. And you, sir, please pay more attention and act like a father for once." Watching Maya and Tom with their heads down, I left the room with a smile. Despite being forbidden by the doctor, Maya had been secretly eating snacks and drinking juices instead of sticking to the hospital food. Her test results were so bad that her treatment was prolonged, and she had to take a leave of absence from school. Tom was repeatedly urged by the nurse to undergo compatibility testing, but adamantly refused, which enraged Maya. "You'll spend money and love on your affair partner, but not on me. Forget it. I won't rely on you anymore." No means no. Just wait patiently until a donor shows up. Is that what a parent should say? Unbelievable. They argued loudly in the hospital room every day, completely ruining their relationship. Later, Tom signed and returned the divorce papers. I submitted the papers to the courthouse immediately, and the divorce was finalized. The $20,000 in alimony for Tom's affair with the waitress from the girls' bar was deposited into my account in one lump sum, and I felt relieved. However, the problems began after that. Even after the divorce, Tom kept persistently clinging to me. Since he knew where I worked, he would wait for me at the nearest station after work and try to get back together. "Hey, I need you, Katie. Let's start over. Maya's medical bills are piling up, and after paying you alimony, my savings are gone." "You spent your savings on your affair partner, didn't you? Why don't you borrow from her?" I replied coldly. "She dumped me when she found out I was married. Maya won't talk to me either. I'm so lonely. You brought this on yourself. If you keep stalking me, I'll call the police." After I yelled at him, Tom finally stopped showing up. Afterward, his affair with the 20-year-old came to light at his workplace, and his reputation plummeted. Now he's living every day at work, as if he's walking on pins and needles. When Maya told her mother about being hospitalized, she boasted about all the wrongs she had done to me and complained bitterly about my canceling the donor registration. In response, her mother sent a cold reply. "I never thought you would be someone who can't even appreciate others. I'm disappointed in you. I once thought about living together again, but let's forget it. Be good to your dad." Reading that, Maya burst into tears and took her frustrations out on the nurses, causing trouble. She's now known as the biggest troublemaker in the ward. Since I cancelled my donor registration, no new donor has come forward. Maya's past habits of binge eating and drinking worsened her condition. Although she eventually started following a diet, it was too late. The doctors now warn her that she could develop liver cancer at any moment. She spends her days in the hospital crying and living in fear. Over the past 5 years, I have come to a profound realization: no matter how much you try, some people will never appreciate your efforts. Despite the hardships, I also had good experiences. A colleague who supported me during my tough times became someone special, and after dating, we got remarried. At our home party in place of a wedding, Anna and my parents met my new husband. They appreciated his kind and sincere nature and were visibly relieved. I am determined to build a happy family with this wonderful man this time around.